More than 20 years after his death, Pablo Escobar still remains as well known as Escobar was during his days as the leader of the Medellin drug cartel. Escobar's fixture in popular culture is essentially thanks to countless books, movies, and songs. The drug trafficking world is full of ruthless men, and Netflix series Narcos and its spin-off Narcos Mexico, highlighting the brutality in vivid detail. Even though the major traffickers, like the notorious Pablo Escobar, such as Pacho Herrera or Miguel Felix Gallardo, have committed plenty of murders with gore and glee, most of the bloody work is done by their most loyal and sometimes even disloyal sicarios. Here are Pablo Escobar's most trusted hitmen. John Jairo Velasquez, or famously known as Popeye, was a former member of the Medellin drug cartel who had committed hundreds of murders on behalf of the drug lord Escobar, as well as parlayed his criminal past into a famous YouTube channel, a movie, and even books. Popeye died on February 6 in Bogota, Colombia. He was 57. He was the right-hand man of Escobar and the boss of his hitmen. Popeye himself said that as a test of his loyalty, Escobar made him kill his fiancée, so without hesitation, he did so. Popeye was sentenced to jail last year for killing Guillermo Cano, head of newspaper El Espectador, back in 1986. Popeye said he had killed more than 300 people and also had participated in the killings of 3,000 others, an account that has never been confirmed. He said in a documentary, "I'm a professional killer. I killed for money." He also said, "I also killed out of love and respect for Pablo Escobar." Before Popeye's latest sentence, the hitman had spent 22 years in prison for plotting the killing of a Colombian presidential candidate back in 1989. After his release on parole in 2014, he achieved celebrity by posting dozens of videos on his YouTube channel, named Popeye Arrepentido, which had more than 1.2 million subscribers. The hitman also directed a movie on his life, wrote 2 books, and even hosted tours of Medellin. In some of his YouTube videos, Popeye would visit the graves of his victims and reminisce on how he had murdered them. El Limon was the last loyal sicario that Pablo Escobar had left with him before his road of terror and crime. Limon started out as a taxi driver for Escobar, who mainly ferried prostitutes and their clients. But then La Kika, another hitman of Escobar, hired him to be their boss's personal chauffeur after the prison escape. Limon died alongside his boss on the Los Olivos raid of December 2, 1993, after over a year of faithful service to the Medellin cartel. Through late 1992 and early 1993, Limon was one of Pablo Escobar's few remaining henchmen, as the rest were in prison or dead. In April 1993, Escobar and Burgos decided to go into hiding at the farm of Escobar's father. Still, they were forced to leave when Escobar's father argued with Pablo about his career as a murderer and told him to leave. In 1992, La Kika approached him and offered him the privilege of serving as Escobar's chauffeur, as the recently escaped Escobar needed a driver with a clean record who could drive him around as he hid in the trunk. Limon decided to work for Pablo Escobar, using his school friend Maritza Rincon as his cover. Maritza sat in the backseat of the taxi to make it appear as she was a real passenger. However, she used to be blindfolded when Pablo Escobar left the car. Limon had reportedly sworn that he would die for Escobar, and he helped Diaz in escaping when the DEA raided on a Medellin brothel on 23rd Street by warning him. Burgos would continue to serve as Escobar's driver, later using Maritza to lure the search block into a trap, and he had her give the search block the address of Escobar in Medellin, only for the Medellin cartel to kill all of the police officers. Later on, Limon gave Maritza a lot of money in return for her unwitting participation, and he left her. Nelson Hernandez Lucumi, better known as Blackie, was a loyal sicario working for the Medellin cartel since its foundation. Blackie was with Escobar since the beginning of his empire. Blackie killed the guerrilla members that helped Escobar by attacking the Colombian judges and burning all pieces of evidence against Pablo. Blackie was also one of the men that Escobar always trusted to be by his side. He conducted several murders, such as that of Kiko Moncado, who Escobar suspected of stealing from him. Even when he made a risky visit to the house of the communist leader, Blackie was one of the 2 men he went with. He was always by Escobar's side and one of his most trusted hitmen. When Pablo ordered him to detonate a car bomb in a commercial area that had heavy business with children, as many kids were there with their parents shopping for back-to-school clothes as well as academic supplies. Blackie carried out the attack, but Blackie later felt heavy remorse. Another vulnerability was that Blackie had impregnated his girlfriend and was disturbed by the possibility of ending up a posthumous father. Moreover, in 1993, Blackie was arrested by the police outside the hotel housing Escobar's family in Bogota for orchestrating the vehicle bombing back then. To save himself from being hanged, Blackie gave away the location of La Quica. Roberto Ramos, or also known as Poison, did not have the tiniest bit of remorse. Poison was a bloodthirsty murderer who killed civilians and police officers with impunity. He neither valued brotherhood, as he would blatantly tell Lizard that he wouldn't hesitate to kill him if Pablo Escobar ever ordered him to do so. Poison was a long-term associate of Pablo Escobar, working with him during his early smuggling days. He assisted Escobar in bombing a Boeing flight that killed around 120 people. Back in 1991, the DEA agents traced his satellite phone call and intercepted his plans to party at La Dispensaria with his fellow hitmen. Then, Colonel Horacio Carrillo was given his location, and search block operatives gunned him down as he tried to escape through a window. When Escobar declared war on the authorities, Poison allowed himself to be stopped by police officers at a roadblock, only to get out of the vehicle and gun them down with a submachine gun. And when Pablo Escobar ordered the killing of the wife and child of the Avianca Airlines bomber to prevent them from linking him to the crime, Poison is more than ready to kill the toddler too, before Agent Pena and Murphy ambush them. Poison eventually gets shot dead inside a nightclub by Carrillo, thanks to a tip from Murphy. After Poison's death, Pablo Escobar raised the bounty on any DEA agent in Colombia to $500,000. Juan Diego Diaz, or better known as La Quica, usually looked worried and harmless. However, he was the most effective sicario at Escobar's disposal. La Quica had also performed several other assassinations back in the 1980s. La Quica's first major kills were police officers, government officials, and Cali cartel members. And in 1989, he was responsible for the bombing of Avianca Flight 203, which killed its 107 passengers and 3 people on the ground in an assassination attempt on presidential candidate Cesar Gaviria. In 1992, La Quica recruited his old friend Joan Limon to serve as Escobar's chauffeur after Escobar escaped from prison. Limon saved La Quica from a search block raid when he warned him about Javier Pena and 3 other search block police officers heading to a brothel room. He recruits several young boys he arms with guns and makes part of Pablo Escobar's army in his war against the authorities. When La Quica almost got caught by the police while in an escort den, he gets angry and kills all the prostitutes. Did you know this about Escobar's hitmen? Get involved and let us know in the comments section down below what you think about today's video. If you liked this video and found it informative, then be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also, if you don't want to miss out on any new future videos like these, then be sure to click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification under this video so that you're notified the next time we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you have a great day today, and we'll see you in the next video.